I'm trying to figure out how to make it so I can see live chat comments all the time. And I have to push a button to get it to show up, whereas I want to be able to see if people are saying something right as they do and hold it on the screen, you know. I'm gonna Google it on my phone here for a sec. YouTube live chat display. YouTube live chat display. Let's see here. That's not what I'm looking for. What's up with this? What is up with this? Just trying to make this a better experience. A couple of my goals are that I can monitor the live chat better by having it displayed all the time, and then the other one is to the sound on the pianos. Obviously, I don't have my mic running through a mixer board where I can adjust the gain on the mic down enough. So the piano's just totally blown out, you know, distorting, and you don't really hear it very, very nicely usually. So I do have a goal to fix that. Definitely top priority on my list. Um, but right now I want to figure out how I can manage the live chat display. I turned on the stream already because I'll just keep it going, you know. But also I thought maybe if I get the window open, then maybe it would be obvious, but I still can't figure it out. Do you want to play around with it, Mark, on the screen? See if you can do what you did the other day, because it's open.
Yeah.
But does there have to be a comment first?
Yeah.
Because with no comments.
Try commenting on it.
Okay, let me get on there and comment. A false comment. Let's see here. So if I go to my channel, what do we have here? Episode 21. Okay, join. Skip the survey. Chat. Okay, here we go. Test. Comment. Showed up, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not finding anything on the internet about, let's see, live chat display during live stream. And I'm not on my computer, I'm on the phone obviously, because we want to be more mobile with this. Everyone's interested in how to view a live chat during the replay of the live content, but I don't care about that. Okay, how do I put chat on screen while streaming? This is just other software, not the YouTube software. Let's try this thing here. Chat replay. This is not helpful. I'll try a little video here. Live Q&A. Oops.
Hey creators, let's talk about live Q&A. Feature in live Q&A that lets you create and manage Q&A sessions and live chat during the streams of peers. Interacting interviewers during a stream is a great way to deepen your connection to your audience, and live Q&A lets you build community while smoothly managing on-topic questions. We'll walk you through how to start a live Q&A, add a prompt, and select the questions you want to feature. Let's dive in.
I hate it when people say let's dive in on a YouTube video. We're not diving in.
You gotta make it a meme though. Hey guys, we're diving in here. I can't figure it out. I think maybe if there's multiple comments, but
This is not what I want.
At any point you want to switch back to live or top chat, you can click on the drop-down arrow next to questions. You'll see three options: top chat, live.
All right, maybe it's if we do live chat instead of top chat. Let's see here. Live chat. Okay, now it's holding it. But for how long is the question? For how long is this holding? But okay, let's see here. Yeah, it's only if I touch the screen. So if it's not actively going, yeah, if comments aren't actively coming in and out, it looks like it's just gonna fade out, excuse me. So that's really frustrating, actually. I'm gonna try and go on my computer and figure this out, but maybe not right now. Let's get to work. Okay, so we're gonna get to work here. So I didn't show this on screen yet, but on this Yamaha that I was working on last night, just one final thing. I moved this plate back so that the action would be in the right place so that we'd get a really good sound, right? But then I found, I was at the way this works. Let me flip the camera around. Or let me show you. Okay, so the way this works is that you have two screws, right, that go in these slots, and you have a certain amount of adjustment that you can make, right? we were at the edge of our adjustment limit. Okay. And it was just kind of getting out of position in the action. So I plugged the screw holes. If you can see, there's some dowels there. Those are hard maple dowels. So I just drilled 7/32, plugged it with the hammer shank dowels, sheared them off, and then the problem was, you see where this is black up here? This is room for the adjustment screw, right? Because this goes up into there. And I could only go right here, and then it would hit the side that they had routed out. So here where it's not black yet, it's kind of hard to see, but right there, I had to route out just a little more now so that this has freedom to move all the way as far as we would ever want it to go, okay? And farther. So now I'm confident I can put screw holes in here and have this adjustment hold on this is for that Yamaha C7, okay? So, but now I need to drill holes for my screws without cutting myself with this chisel that's precariously sitting there. Okay, so I'm going to, Mark, you can pluck as loud as you want, okay? Not gonna bother me. All right. So I can see where the old holes were. They were kind of at an angle. I'm gonna try and make it a little more straight with the action. And what size hole to drill? Okay, here's my screw. I'm gonna go find an appropriate bit, or maybe this one sitting right here just will happen to magically work for me. No, that's way too big. Yeah, that's way too big. That would just be the overall diameter right there. Let me grab a little screw. Oh, when I made so I used a little router. Oh, it's right here actually. I didn't do it on camera. I was like, oh, I just need to get work done, and I'll do it off camera, but I should have maybe filmed it. But I just used this little router, a router bit, and I masking taped the surface. I took out this stop screw, which goes right here. That's for the action when it shifts over, right, to stop it. So I took that out so I could mask that flat, not damage the finish, run the router on there. We routed that out to make room for that adjustment screw. And now I'm going to find a drill bit that's the appropriate size for the screws to make 2 new holes for them. So let me take the screw with me. Okay, I found it. Luckily, I had it still on my workbench. So here's a good drill bit for this. It has to be smaller, right, than the thread. So when you hold, when you're looking to measure, a good size into hardwood, we want it the size of the inner diameter, basically. Okay, because we don't want that inner shank of the screw to what's the word? Get bound up in the hole. We just want the threads to bite. And in this application, it doesn't have to hold the bridge up. It's just holding an adjustment for the action. So, see if I have any battery on this drill. I'm gonna make a little punch where I want the holes. That'll help control, how good of a hole I can get, a start I can get, and get it right exactly where I want it. Let me go get my awl. Yeah, I took harder than that. Okay, so I'll just take my guide here, and what's the best view here for this? I don't know. Maybe like this. I can't see. I'm gonna make a pencil line where the center of my old holes were, except I'm gonna adjust it down just a little bit because these were not straight anyway. Okay. Well, that's not straight what I just did either. Let's make it straight. Okay, I just made a pencil line just as a guide for where that path of the where I want that screw path to be on here. Okay, so now I'll just determine where I want the holes, and I want them over far enough so I can overlay this over the pencil marks. And I want it far enough that we can have adjustment in the future wherever someone might want to go, and that happens to be right there, but I'm going to do both holes before I move this guide, okay? So I'm going to make a little indentation, make a little indentation, there. And so I've got little indentations right there for my screw holes. Now I'll just make them a little more obvious here. And maybe I'll straighten them out a bit. This one's a little bit crooked there. Okay. Just pushing with brute force here. I could also tap with a mallet or something if I had one handy. There, that's good enough. Now that'll guide my screw going in to put it in the right spot. So let's drill a couple holes here. Doesn't feel tight. I want to make sure I'm straight, you know, every which way here. They don't have to go in very deep, I don't believe. Okay. It's just slightly offset. These holes are just slightly offset from where the old holes were. It's not a lot, but it's enough. So now, if I run these screws in, you get my screwdriver here. I'm going to get some screw wax. This will help with a new hole. It helps it go in better. Okay. Here's my screw wax. Just going to rub some beeswax onto that screw and place them over the hole and start running it down. This one was tightened in such a way that it's almost stripped, unfortunately. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't me that did that. I think it was that way to come, you know, when we first started. I'm going to use a bigger screwdriver, otherwise it'll be likely just to strip out more. You know, any screw that has to be tightened really tight, I don't like Phillips for this reason. They can strip out over time. So this is just tight because it's the first time we've run that in there. Now that's snugged that in place. We'll do the other screw. Then we're in business. Okay, that one's going a lot better. That screw's in better health. Okay. Now that should hold the action wherever we want. And in this case, let's see, before I forget, I want to put this action stop screw back for the soft pedal adjustment. And I'm pretty sure that was like right there. Okay. Let's go see how it works out. And I'm going to flip the camera here. All right, we're just, sorry, I'm trying to flip the camera. There it goes. All righty. So, and don't worry, we'll get to it wasn't just clickbait, we'll get to the action analysis here pretty quick. I just need to finish these couple things on this Yamaha. So if you're just joining, I basically had to do some routing, some re-drilling to get this plate where I can adjust it further back where I want so it stays where we put it. Okay, so right now, and also there was a squeak that developed last night just playing it in the pedal. I've got to chase that down and figure out what that is. You know, if I take, you know, 2 days prepping a piano, send it to the home and there's a squeak in it, you know, that's like more annoying than anything else that I've been working on, right? That's kind of nuanced. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go get my driver to run that cheek block in. Okay, I'm gonna screw the cheek block in here. Just screwing it in. Okay, then I'm gonna move my left pedal here to see how it's working. And I'm looking at this some pencil line. I want to see that it stays in place. It does stay in place. Wow, something's weird with the focus there, huh? Okay, so that stays where we want it. I'm pretty sure. I'll just give a quick listen. Good, yeah. And now here's a thing to note. So what I'm doing here is just making sure that the strike point that we set with the action is going to be stable. I had to adapt. I had to plug the old screw holes on the guide plate in there, and I had to, what else did I have to do? Had to route out a little groove to make room for the screw so that plate could go back further and hold the action where we set it. Now that strike point changes a little bit over time as the piano wears, okay? And I'll pull out the action because we're going to get into the action today anyway to do some mad scientist analysis. All right. So let me show you though how the strike point on the piano changes over time. If you can picture the top of the hammer is getting cut into, okay? Right? So the top of the hammer is getting cut into over time as you play the piano. Now the groove on the top of the hammer, the groove which is highlighted by carbon right now, it'll get longer and longer the more this piano is played. It'll also get cut deeper and deeper, right? So this hammer effectively gets shorter, right, in length between the shank and where it actually makes contact with the string. So over time, right now it might be going up to say here, and then over time it'll come up a little more. It'll hit a larger surface area of the small string there, which actually improves the tone. It makes it so that the strike point isn't so fussy, like has to be a particular point. It allows it to kind of be a larger zone and still have good tone on it for the most part. But also it'll come this way on the string. It'll come forward is my point. So I left enough adjustments so you could, adjust things where you can, but just be aware that we wouldn't want this piano where we couldn't go back anymore, or that we were just barely coming up to the point of correct, because as the hammer wears, the strike point's going to come towards the pianist. Okay, now I want to see where the pedal squeak was coming from. Just real quick, and then we'll get into our action analysis. So it's not squeaking when the cheek blocks are out. What about if I hold it back? I'm going to put some pressure back on the action. I'm pushing this back and doing the pedal. Then it exposed that squeak. Did you hear it? So if it's there when I push back, but not when I bring it out, it's most likely the contact in the back of the action frame. Let's look at what that looks like. So there's that screw, there's this screw back there in the very back of the action. Way back there. It's not in focus because there's so many things in front of it, sorry about that. But there's a screw back there, okay? And I think it's squeaking against that hitting the wood on the back of the action frame. Okay, I need to take a look at that where I'm not holding a camera so I don't break something. So let me set you let me just set the camera aside here real quick. All right, let's see. Okay, I'll go ahead and turn the action over. That'll be the easiest way for us both to look. Now, a couple things I could do. I could loosen this plate and allow the plate to go forward a little bit, which would loosen the pressure against that back piece. But I don't think that's a good solution because then it kind of might want to wear this way. I might do a combination of things, but that's an option just to take pressure off the back here. But let me show you what I think is squeaking. I kind of want to confirm it before I do anything, right? With a little bit of testing. So the screw indentation, you can see right there, that's where it hits the back of the action when you push back. So I think it's just squeaking right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rough this up with some 80 grit sandpaper just right in that zone. And then I'm going to rub some microfine Teflon powder on it. Let's see if I have my sandpaper right here. Nope, let me grab some. I just need a scrap of paper, nothing special. See any scraps of sandpaper around? Here's one. All right, here's just some 80 grit, whatever, sandpaper, nothing special. I'm just gonna rub, because it's kind of polished, the screw has kind of polished the wood, and a polished wood against metal can really leave a squeak sometimes. So I wanna rough it up with deeper scratches, okay? So it's not that polished feel. And then, so now that that's smooth, I've also, obviously removed a tiny bit. That might relieve some pressure from the screw and quiet it down. I bet if I put this back in right now, it won't squeak. But before I do that, I might as well rub my Teflon powder on that, because even if this isn't what's causing the squeak, the Teflon powder is not going to hurt anything, and then I don't have to pull the action back out a second time and do it if I decide, oh, it does need Teflon. To me, if I sand it, that'll get rid of the squeak like in the immediate near future. But if I put Teflon powder on it also, that will kind of guard it to hopefully make that last longer to keep it from squeaking. This is just a tiny, it's a very fine white powder. That's Teflon. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if the squeak goes away. Oh, you know what? I'm also seeing, I might as well dress the other contact points, right? So here's a black scar. That's from part of the action here also. And then here's where the screw hits here, right? Why don't I just dress them all while we have it out? Let's do that. And I don't want to remove wood per se. I just want to put a surface on there that's going to be hopefully squeak free going forward. Okay. Yeah, so I find that polished wood is not good against metal for noise reduction. That's my take on it. Just doing some targeted Teflon powder here. All right. There we go. So we got that. Let's see if anyone has any questions up to this point on what we're doing. Nope, we're good. Okay. All right, I'll flip that back around and just confirm that we got rid of our squeaks. Squeaks and squawks. I would say there's a large majority of our clients that schedule a tuning not because they're aware the piano's out of tune or really want it in tune, but because the pedal's squeaking, right? Or a key is stuck. That's more often the case. Okay, so without the cheek blocks, I'm going to push back with a lot of pressure and operate the pedal. Totally free of squeak, and it feels way more slick. I can feel on the pedal. The pedal's a lot easier to push. So we definitely addressed something there. Let's cinch these in and confirm that we're where we want. But I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone. I'm gonna put the key slip in, cinch these in to confirm whether this new position of the block in the treble side, if I have the right down pressure or if that thing's gonna buzz again. I had to adjust that earlier, but since I moved the screws, I might have to do it again. Let's grab the key slip. So, key slip on. Put this block in. Let's see if it's knocking and buzzing. It is. All right, let's see if I can get you in here where you can see that. So I lightly hold the key down, then I knock. I hear a knock and a buzz. I'm going to put pressure down on this, then do that same thing with my thumb, lightly, and tap. It's buzzing, okay? So I do want to probably lower this adjustment screw just a little bit. And here's my screwdriver for that, just a number 1 Phillips. Very important to try and get the right sizes of screwdriver so that you maintain the health of the hardware, that it's not bunged up, and it'll be useful for people down the road, okay? Okay, I'm without pressure. A buzz and a knock. Pressure. No knock so much, but I know you're hearing a knock, but it's because of the awkwardness of this. But really, it's not knocking. Or it may be knocking. Anyway, I have to run this down a little more. That's the moral of the story. You just go down by small degrees because just a little bit is too much. It's not buzzing. That probably shows me that I went too far. I don't know. But the only way to know is to put the screw in, unfortunately, and tighten it down and double check. So here we go with that. Okay. That knock is coming from something else. It's coming from this glide stud. I'm going to lower that a bit. Just a touch. There. I can't really tell what's going on right now. I mean, I can hear a little bit of a knock. I'm gonna take this out and get a closer look. You know, like one of the first steps troubleshooting a piano, just try and take a look. Try and get access to it where you can get a better view of what's happening. Like maybe that sounds like really overly simple in principle, and obvious, but okay, so no knock here. Look, there's no knock. I guess there kind of is. But if I push this down hard enough, there's no knock. So I guess I just need to push it down harder with the screw. So let's go down. Good. I'm gonna just run this thing down all the way and then we'll back it off. So we'll know it's too, we'll want to make sure that it does what it needs to do when it's all the way down. And then we'll slowly back it off by degrees. That's another approach, right? To get the right adjustment. Okay, I can eliminate the knock, but I gotta make sure I can do that with the key slip in place. Because what happens is sometimes this wedge here that locks the thing in place, can you see that okay in the camera? Yeah. this wedge that locks that in place sometimes raises the front of the cheek block just a little bit. In fact, more than sometimes, very often raises the cheek block. So that's why I have to keep checking this adjustment with the key slip in place. That's just what I found from experience. So kind of annoying. But, you know, I chose this work, right? I chose my path. All right, let's see if we can get rid of the knock, first of all. Okay, we can. Make sure I can shift the action. Okay, I can't even shift the action. So it's pushing on it so hard that I can't push the left pedal, and if I do, it gets stuck. Okay, that's way too hard. Okay, way too much down pressure. So we know we achieved what we wanted to as far as making sure that we were definitely pushing that thing down. So let's back it off. I'm gonna back it off a full two rotations of my wrist. 1, 2. That's probably about 2/4 of a turn, maybe in this case. Okay. And don't worry, we'll get to the Steinway Yamaha comparison here once I finish these just final touches here. Okay, nothing. I push the pedal moves. But I want to take this to the point where the pressure is just enough. Otherwise, I'll just break parts or wear parts down. And then it'll be knocking again. We don't need that. So you kind of have to play either side of an adjustment sometimes to know that you're right in the center. That's the way it is with tuning. Okay, I'm going to go 1 rotation on my wrist. Another 1/4 turn. One nice thing is the more times I take this screw on the bottom in and out, it gets more and more slick and it's easier to run in and out. It goes very easily, which is a good thing as far as being able to maintain the piano easily. Okay, for the knock, I'm not pushing hard with my left hand, right? I'm just barely pushing the key down so that it's against the bottom. Then no knock, okay? No knock, no buzz. I check the pedal, how free is it? It's quite free, but we're gonna take this until it does knock, okay? Fair warning, we're gonna go until it knocks and then cinch it down 1 more turn from there and leave it. And I think most manufacturers would agree with that approach with something like this. It's kind of a sensitive part. It can crack, this plastic can crack easily, it can get out of position, it can warp, or I guess the screw holes can be enlarged is what I mean to say. And then it won't put the downward pressure it needs to. Okay. Are you on C or B? There it is. Except you should be 15 cents high. Oh, you are now, yeah. Okay, this still isn't knocking when I check, which means when I ran it down that first time, it was really putting a lot of pressure, which makes sense. I mean, it was enough force to hold this whole butterfly spring in place that pushes the action back. I have a feeling that this one's going to do it, though. I think we might just get a knock when I turn that out this time. It's basically, we're making a blind adjustment, right? It's not something that I can adjust while checking immediately. So it's going to be a lot of in and out. There, got a knock. Okay, now we know where we are. I'm going to turn it back down that 1/4 of a turn or 1 rotation of my wrist. And that's that. And the base one should be the same way it was before because we already adjusted it. This is the only thing that we changed when we moved these screws. That 1 rotation, cheek block down. Okay. No knock, no buzz. It makes for efficient, nice. You're not playing on a trampoline. You're not playing on something that would make a loud knocking noise, whatever that would be. You just double check with the triple check with the bass side cheek block in place. So. No knock. No knock in the middle. Check that I can operate the pedal smoothly, the left pedal. Operates very smoothly. Let's check that that left pedal is going to the position that we wanted it to. I'm looking through the strings to the hammer, okay? Take the phone off the tripod. Through the strings to the hammer. I'm holding a hammer up, and then I'm looking when I shift over, is it missing a string, and going just almost to the next string cuts. It is. Let's listen. I realize the sound for you is not going to be great on this, but we'll just deal with that for now, okay? I'm working on that eventually, that we can have great sound on these all the time, but okay, so I'm going to just listen. It needs to go over just a little farther to miss the hammers, to miss that left string, or just all, yeah, and then so just a tiny bit more. So I just need to run this stop screw in a little bit. I left my other screwdriver over there. I'll be right back. Wait, or did I? Oh, check. I don't know where I put my other favorite screwdriver. We'll just use this one. I ran that block in, or that screw. I ran it in just a little bit, like maybe a quarter turn, eighth of a turn. I have a hunch it might be too much, but we'll see. No, that's just right. Take a look again through the strings like I did earlier. Yeah, I just went a touch too far, just barely too far, okay? So I'm gonna undo that. Because what happens now is it's seating really, really well into the next string grooves. There's 3 string grooves, right? Here's the 3 strings. If we shift, well, here's the hammer with the string grooves, okay? Here's the strings. It's hitting the strings right there, these grooves are. And then we shift this over to the right to there, or we want it just not there. Okay, right now it's seating too firmly on there. It's really not the sound I want. I want it just almost there, is what I've decided. So I'm just going to run this out a tiny bit. Eighth of a turn. And hopefully then we'll still be missing that left string just barely. But the sound will be a little more soft. Not so bright up in the treble when we push that left soft pedal. Okay, let's hear it. That's with, okay, well I'm going to go 5 strokes without, 5 with. It's such a fine adjustment. I went too far again the other way. Sorry, I'm not getting that better for you right here today. It's one thing to be able to do these things, and it's another to be able to do them while you're talking, right? And there's a camera there. Okay. Okay, I'm going just in between what I just did on the last two. I don't want to be boring for you all, you know. So, you know, my energy's up a little bit. This is exciting. We're all doing it together. But then, you know, if it makes my brain like scrambled eggs, that's no good either, right? So, okay, let's try it now. 5 strokes. There. I think that's an acceptable sound for this piano, based on what I know. Good. Okay, now let's get into the fun stuff. Mark's over there just chipping that 9-foot again that we strung yesterday. And I've got a Model B action over here that I pulled out of a new piano. And we're going to take it all apart. We're going to take the Yamaha apart. We're going to take samples of 6 keys, 2 in the bass, 2 in the middle, 2 in the treble. We're going to take all the measurements that have to do with the geometry and the weighting of these keys and run them through a program that I have that was developed by an ingenious technician. And it'll help us kind of analyze the geometry between the Yamaha 7-foot and the Steinway 7-foot and just kind of see what are the differences in leverage, in weight, things like that, okay? So first we need to clear off some workbench space. So I'll start working on that while Mark's finishing chipping, and then he'll help out with holding the camera and in the discussion, taking things apart and all that, okay? If you want to throw questions on the chat while you're thinking about them, about what we're going to do or anything that we've done in recent videos, you know, once I clean up here, then I'll look at those and or look at them periodically while I'm cleaning, maybe talk about what you're talking about there. Yeah, that happens easily on the bass.
Somebody put 2 F sharps. We have no F.
Really? Well, that was an oversight. That was a bad one. You don't want to pull them high.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Too high.
Oh. Maybe I messed up. I forgot that's in this instrument.
Maybe just don't do the lowest bass ones because without the
Yeah.
hammer it's harder to hear. Just skip them, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not as critical that they're at pitch when we're regulating and aligning as the others.
And voicing. It's mostly the treble that I need to pitch so that we can hear kind of what the tone's going to be because look, we haven't hung those treble hammers because we want to see if they need to go a special place first.
This one's F, right?
That should be F2. The very bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, something's wrong with that one. This is F. It's a
Pluck
high
it,
spot.
if you pluck it where the hammer strikes it, way better tone.
Yeah, I just checked.
Oh, it's fine now. That's fine. Did you change it?
Yeah, I
It's good. It's passed. It's done. Okay. Here. For the kids, you know, we have a cleanup song, right? We need a cleanup song. What this? Oh, this is bridge pins. That's what that is. So right now I'm just clearing off this space. You go and put these up on the shelf. These are harpsichord tools we certainly don't need. That can go in the rack, that black cart that will lead us around. More harpsichord tools.
Did you send black card?
The little black cart with wheels, it's right to your right.
Oh.
It's where we put all the gloves and stuff. Oh, that action's not on there. Eesh. What happened to that? I'll set this aside. I don't know if there's shelf space for that. Why don't you put that keyboard over this foam? Just set it on top of the. If it hopefully it spans that. It should. It should be long enough. And then I'm gonna get out of your way. You'll see dough. Pull the vacuum out. Set this stack down here. This is for another project. tools have a place over there. You can find the things that match them. It all goes with the punches, like next to the files. And then there's screwdrivers. We can start filing these tools away. And I'll just go over it in one of the drill bit boxes over there. Okay. I somehow managed to misplace my main black screwdriver. That's the flathead. If you happen to spot that somewhere.
You want to use mine?
We may, yeah. But, I mean, I'm sure it'll be around here somewhere. Somewhere nearby here. It's kind of weird that it would be gone.
These screws? Right.
There's something. Well, that's a broken one. I know that. Oh, I pulled this out of the screw can. It's just a random screw can I remember now. Should we do the Yamaha first or the Steinway? Any opinions from the gallery? Any comments? Which one you'd like us to take down first? Or Mark, do you care?
Where did these ones go? Do they just go next to?
Are they the countersink? Or those just drill bits? So this is a countersink, and it was like here, or there. It was there.
Yeah.
And the drill bits right
I
here.
see now.
Yeah.
Right in front of me.
Right in front of you. Okay. Me and business. I should probably put the phone on the charger while we have the chance, right?
And this one.
So,
Where did it go again?
huh?
The wax.
The Weeble says I need to hire one of my kids to edit the video. You know, I'll just let the view. This may sound bad, but I'll let the viewer edit the video. You can fast forward and rewind. It goes just in that like open drill box. One of the drill bit boxes. Video editing is fun, but you can really take way more time than is maybe needed. I'm not entering a film festival or anything, so. All right. Let's get our surface here clean. Then we'll get it ultra clean. Let's grab a microfiber cloth. The new ones are, actually, do you want to dump this in a big can while you walk over there? And then the new ones are on that top shelf across the way, directly across. Okay. I don't know, I might have to ban the Weeble from the chat, all these negativities, I don't know. My last name is Weeble, by the way, if some of you are wondering. Okay, let's grab some cleaner. And grab a bottle of, oh, there's one over here, never mind. Just grab a rag, yeah, a new one. Thanks. If you see where it's, oh, that basket is right there. Alright, this is, clean this off here.
What's that microfiber?
Yeah, just scrub it real good and that's it. And maybe just keep that cloth on hand if we want or anything. Silence my phone, it's stressing me out. Okay. Found my black screwdriver right in plain sight. So that's mostly all we need on this project. We need the laptop. Let's go get that. Okay, we're going to use the, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to use a action geometry program developed by Nick Gravagna, I believe is how he says it. I don't know where those go actually. If you want to just plug in the computer and get that fired up, I'll put these away. Do the Yamaha first, just in case. Actually, I'm changing my mind. Let's power up from over there to get the cord more out of our way. It's a long cord. You should be able to just run it. Yeah, and still set it here. Just a little more room for us here. Okay, let me see if I have any. We're still prepping here, but getting so ready. All right. Very close here. Let's do. No one offered an opinion. They're probably not watching the computer since this has been sitting idle a little bit while we clean up. No one offered an opinion on which action to do first, the Yamaha or the Steinway. So I'll go ahead and grab the Steinway first. With a quick stop to the restroom. Do you want to grab it, Mark? You can grab it. Just carry it over.
me. That's just your arms. I think your arms went outside there.
Yeah, I hope your fingers don't die.
Put your thumb though.
Around, right?
Don't wrap all the way under the seat. Good. That's some shape. Don't wrap all the way. It's easy to bend this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Just go. Just like put there. See, like looking right there. Yeah.
Don't break it.
All right. Yeah, let's bring some rolly chairs over. And then we will keep this just slightly out of the way. We'll turn it. I'll just push this in towards you. Good enough. Here, that gives us a little room. Yeah, you want to grab your chair? All right. This is exciting. For me, this is exciting. I'm always trying to improve my understanding of what I can do to affect the touch of an action and the performance of it, okay? So, let's use this. Boy. I wonder if we can just post this up here somehow. Let's see. What can we bring over?
I could take that.
Let's bring this cart over, or you can hold it right a lot, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, just hold it for now. Okay, so we're gonna take some measurements. So this is Steinway B, Steinway Model B, serial number 623404. That's a really new piano. In fact, let's look up well, I can't look up the year, it's too new. I know already it's a 20, we're in 24 right now, right? It's a 2023. Yep. So this is the latest what they're doing, okay, on Steinway. And then the Yamaha is, we ordered it some time ago. It came, it's been sitting basically in the box, brand new for a long time. So it's a little bit older, maybe by a year. But basically current production, Yamaha C7x, Steinway Model B. Okay. All right. Let me first find this action program. It's all done. He did it all on Microsoft Excel. So it's basically a worksheet with just a ton of cross calculations pulling from data. Okay. All right. So there's certain measurements we're going to want to take. And we're going to determine what our test notes are going to be. We're going to do C1, C sharp 1, C3, C sharp 3. We'll do C5, C sharp 5, and C7, C sharp 7. Does that sound good? We'll have 8. That'll give us a span, because a lot of the geometry considerations have to do with the length of the levers. And they're basically straight lines, you know, so you might have a variation from the bass to the treble. You might have some variation in execution of how this was constructed and put together just a little bit that way, but it's not going to usually curve in the middle. It's usually a linear thing. So it'll give us a pretty good idea of what's going on, okay? So let's first of all take the easy things, and we'll get a notebook. And a weighting tool. Mark, I have a base for this. It's like a foot for this. Maybe you can help me spot it. It's like this, but it's got 2 prongs instead of 1. And it's probably just right under here somewhere. There it is. Okay. And you can practice with this tool too. They're basically the same, but they're going to give us a slightly different reading. Mark, if you want to show real quick this tool. So this is, maybe just pick up the camera and kind of film me doing it. Then we can see. And we're going to get a pen and call this, how about Steinway Model B, serial number 623, whatever.
Just so you know, the comments are staying up now.
Oh, they're staying up now.
I think you need more than one.
And then it'll stay up.
To stay up.
And I put it on, the setting I put it on was live chat instead of top chat. Okay. Good. Good, we've got the comments in view. Now I need a pen. That's what I needed. We'll get a couple, and then I also want a pencil if we want to put any index lines on the wood for what we measure. Okay, so we have some pencils, we have some pens. This will be Steinway B number 623404. Okay, and we want C1, and this table we're gonna just take a down weight and an up weight, and I'll explain what these are as we go. C sharp 1 will go C3, C sharp 3, C5, and C sharp 5, and we'll continue on C7 and C sharp 7. Okay, so down weight. So this tool has a weight on it with a slide, and it's got a contact arm here, and then it has my foot. I gotta grab the foot here, and then it's got this foot that it pivots on. Okay, so it's basically a scale, right? And the scale's written here. This is in grams, as you can see. So the way this works, this is a real ingenious tool. And keep in mind, these numbers, You might be too horizontal where it'll change orientation if you're not careful. Yeah. The these numbers are relative, so because we don't know for sure how accurate this scale is. In fact, I have another one of these tools, an older version. We'll take that. I'll have Mark go behind me just as another set of data, and it'll vary probably by a gram or so. Okay. So, but basically, we're going to slide this until the key goes down, and I'm going to say till it goes down of its own. I'm not going to do any tapping or anything like that. Okay. But this is how I'd measure that. And then what I'll do, I've already broken the static friction that way. So then I'll let go and I'll maybe back up a gram. And I'll keep doing that until it no longer will go, okay? And that's how we're gonna get our accurate. Okay, that it's right there. Oh, that barely goes, okay? So there it's not gonna move. So so then I'll go back to the previous higher gram where I was and say that that's the weight, okay? Once the static friction is broken, okay? And on this scale, that is 52 grams, okay? 52 grams down weight. Now, to get the up weight, once this is down, static friction is already basically broken. I'm just going to slide this back till the key retracts most of the way, okay? Right about there. Then I'm going to go heavier a gram, push it down to the shelf and let go. And I'm going to keep doing that until it won't lift anymore, okay? So I'm going to call that 20. See, it won't go all the way. I could go heavier, but I don't like the way that behaves. I'm not going to call that good. I'm going to call this good, where it snaps up. So we're going to call that 25. It was kind of between 20. Oh, we'll round up anytime we're not going to go half of a gram. So we have a down weight of 52 and an up weight of 25. That means it requires 52 grams to push the key down and balance the weight of the hammer and the whipping and the hammer and the friction that's associated with that system. Let me just show you a couple handy formulas with these numbers, okay? Oh, and then the key, you can set a 25 gram weight on the end of the key and it can and the weight of these will balance it up, okay? So that's where it's balanced. So a couple formulas: down weight plus up weight divided by 2 equals what's called a balance weight, okay? So in this case, if you get into, if you've heard of Stanwood, you know, he explains all this really well. I think he's one of the pioneers, you know, kind of working with this system. So down weight plus up weight, we've got 77, right? And divided by 2, what is that, Mark?
Can't make you do math on the spot like that.
Well, 37.5 is going to be 75, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 39.5.
So we work on pianos. We, you know, no, we both like math too, but I put them on the spot. But we'll get the actual number just for fun. A lot of these I can do in my head when the numbers are right because I'm used to it. Yeah, 38.5. Okay. So this key has a balance weight. In this case, the balance weight on our sample is going to be 38.5 grams. Okay. If we go down weight minus up weight divided by 2, that equals the friction in the system. Okay. So 52 minus 25 is
27.
20, not 27, 27. It's 27. Okay. So 27 divided by 2 is 13 and a half, right? Mm-hmm. So on this note, C1, we have 13 and a half grams of friction. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see, are there any other handy things? It's really handy to know friction of the system. You got a little chat there.
I know. I was just checking.
Okay, feel free to chime in with questions or if you don't understand something. And if we'll cover it later, I'll just say we'll cover it later here, you know, or you'll get it in a second. Stanwood really uses this number a lot because what this does, if you use a balance weight, it takes friction out of the equation basically. So it's kind of just focused on the actual weights of the key, the ends of the key, this lever of the key, and then everything that's on the other side of it. Okay. Anyway, that's just so you're familiar. So we're just gonna. That's why we're measuring down weight and up weight on all of these because it can tell us a lot of information. Oh, I should also say that both these actions now are perfectly regulated. This B has been prepped. That Yamaha C7 has been prepped, and that can be important because you know where things start and the angles and things. Okay. So now I'm going to measure the down weight of C sharp. Okay, go 52, then I'm going to back it up to 51 and see if it'll go down. Not quite. Okay, so that's 52. That's a win for Steinway. Look at that consistency. Okay, up weight. All right, up weight. Up weight on this is a lot higher, which means the friction is a lot less. See how these are handy formulas, you know. Now the friction number, you know, well, I'm not going to go into that. Okay. All right, so we've got you know what would be more fun, Mark, is if we are doing both actions at the same time, taking the same measurements, comparing the numbers at the same time. You over there, me over here.
Okay.
So let's set that up. But let me first get this up weight before I get distracted. I already did get distracted. Okay. So we're going to call this up weight 20, no, that's actually 32. No, that's not 32. That's 27. Okay, so this tells me there's 2 grams less of friction in this system. Here's another thing. It's important to know that these numbers, now, as far as playing goes, typically a lower down weight and a higher up weight equals better playing. Okay, easier to play, really light and free and responsive, fast repeating, all that, as far as my current understanding goes. So it's important that friction will make these numbers, if I increase the friction, it'll take those numbers and move them away from each other, equal and opposite. Okay? If we go inward, if we reduce the friction, it will both reduce the down weight number and increase the up weight number, which is beneficial, right? So you can see just from that why I focus so much on eliminating excess friction. It makes an action feel so much better without having to change anything with the weighting balance. Okay, but we're going to go and get it set up for the Yamaha when you contemplate that. No, there's no questions or comments yet, right? So we're going to set up this other workbench. I'm going to grab the table, I think, so that we'll just set it up on the table instead of this other workbench. Actually, the table's longer, so I'll grab that table and put it here. If you want to move the vacuum out of the way, and I'll clear my stuff off. I think it's going to be a much more fun comparison at the same time, right?
Yeah.
And you get practice doing the measurements too.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's do this.
What?
I'm just talking to myself.
Oh, okay. I do that all the time, especially lately with live streaming. can kind of do it faster with this. That goes on that black card. Put them all on there and we can lift it off easy. That's so I can put it in front of the camera, and then I know like when the sign's there, that's what's going on. You know. There's 5, 15, and 30, so those are our only options today.
Should I set this just on?
Just on the back there, or actually maybe closer to us. Yeah.
How about the bench right here?
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Hey, anyone have any comments? Okay, the test. A bunch of test comments from the Weeble. Okay, all right. Thank you. Do the actions of Steinway smell different than Yamaha actions? All right, the Weeble, I'm gonna kick you off. I don't care if you're flesh and blood. Okay, do they smell different than Yamaha actions? Smell comparison? No. Yes, it's different wood. It's different wood. So I guess technically it'll smell a different, but I'm not smelling any difference.
This ruler just goes right here, right?
It hangs on that nail. See that nail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just put this wood piece on the bench or behind?
Stick it over on, it goes to here, just stick it on top of the piano with the upside down. And then you can move the table over there without putting anything on it. This? That's a tool. Where do you put the other stuff? Yeah. Like these are very sideways, right? Not here. Just put that up. I'll carry this over. Should we scoot this piano over a little bit and then we'll give you more room too? Yeah, we can kind of do it back to back. Or like an L right here. Is it long? Is it too long?
You go right over here.
Oh.
It should be fine.
Because you're still in the camera view over here. You know? Just a little more room is all. Okay. Well, I was thinking if you're like this, the camera can see real easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good setup. Grab the action. We'll grab that action quickly. There, now we're gonna have dueling piano actions, dueling banjos. And don't worry, we're going to go much deeper than just measuring the weights on here. Okay. So far, so good. I know we're gonna need some rulers, so I might as well fetch those while setting up. So you can go ahead and get a notebook for you, Mark. There's another pen. Yeah, catch up to where I am. Save your review here. Okay, so Mark's gonna catch up to where I am then with the waiting on things. And
What are the notes? C sharp, C sharp 1.
it's basically octave 1, 3, 5, and 7. C and C sharp. And you might want to leave 2 lines just in case we want to write the balance, weight, and friction.
You want me to use this other one, right?
Say what?
You want me to use this one, right?
Yeah, but let's first calibrate it to know what adjustment we need to make a match. So weigh the Steinway with that one. The ones we already weighed.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to know what our calibration adjustment is on that. So because these two scales are more than likely slightly different, he's going to weigh the same 2 notes. We'll see what adjustment we need to make. Okay, then back it up a gram and lift it up and then let it down again. And then do it again to make sure it fails. And then go back to the 1. And make sure this point is the same distance from the key. Okay, so for sure it's 1 gram heavier than that, okay? So put it right there each time, like the distance from the front of the key is vital.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you got?
Right now it's at 50.
Wait, lift it again. And down. Okay, yeah, that's it. Go 1 gram lighter and make sure it fails.
I guess that's 51.
Don't lift it all the way off like that.
Mm-hmm.
Keep contact with it just there and then let go. So let's put it down. Lift it up. Don't lift.
Can I just lift from the bottom?
Yeah, there you go. Just do that. That's a better way. Okay, so 1 gram heavier is where it's gonna be. So that's the number.
So 51.
51. See, I thought it was a gram different.
And then up weight.
Yeah, and then do the up weight.
And you just pull it down.
Then just push it down right here and then let go and then keep going. That didn't go up all the way actually. Okay, so then go heavier until it fails. And check it now. Push it down just to the shelf and then up. Okay, so it failed, so go back a gram. Okay, does that work?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this one has some bumps on it. That's why I got a new one.
And down.
Well, too far. Just to the shelf.
Just to the shelf.
Yeah, I gotta reset. Just to there. Very light-handed. Go back to gram. Okay, what's that?
24?
22?
Okay, actually.
No, that's
It's
20.
21.
No. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me measure it. We got kind of messed up. Maybe let me see. Let me sit and drive with you. Let's reset with the down weight and up weight. So the distance from the front of the key, it's got to be the same. Okay. Do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it goes down. Goes down. I'm gonna go back to ground. Back to ground. Just barely goes back to ground. Okay, so it's 51, like you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 51. We want to do an up weight. Yeah, it's all right. There's plenty of disrespectful people.
Felt like it was too respectful on there, so.
Yeah,
How's it going?
pretty good.
Just,
Good. We're just starting on getting numbers for these to analyze the two.
compared to
The two actions would be
nice.
yeah, Mark. This is a tricky one on the up weight.
So it wasn't me.
No, it's not you. But I just had to make sure, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the way this is reading, we should put 21 on the up weight, which is a big difference than what we got with this other tool. So we can't use two of these. We gotta just pass it back and forth. Okay. Right. Make sure that's actually the case, or if I was like just. Yep. No, that's actually the case. Okay, we can't use the second one. We will just use the slick one, and we'll just have to pass it back and forth. So go ahead and get your C1 sharp one on there. You got a pen? I'm just reviewing our instructions for the program to make sure that it's accurate. You know, you might say, "Why didn't you do this before the video?" I didn't. I hope you don't mind. I just thought you might be interested just to kind of sit in real time with us here and just kind of go through the exploration process. You know, at the same time we are. That way, we're not presenting any agenda necessarily. You're seeing our kind of actual data and reactions. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you need the computer to check notes?
Yeah, but
You can do it right now. I was just reviewing the instructions, but I don't need to look at it for a sec. I'm just waiting for Mark for 20 minutes for him to get these two numbers. Just kidding, Mark. Okay. So, I know you're just being careful.
I'm gonna stay right here.
Yeah, go for it. Landon, everyone. Made a snide remark on the chat last night about how I don't get enough sleep. Oh, we just lost everyone, Landon.
Ah,
You just killed the stream.
I killed the stream.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. They
Okay.
came back. Two people came back. So Landon didn't kill the stream.
Oh, good. Okay.
We're just going in slow time today. We're doing real time analysis of these two actions, but we only have one valid measuring tool right now for what we're doing, unfortunately. So Mark's getting the down weight and the up weight on the Yamaha action. If you want further explanation of down weight and up weight, just rewind the video. We go through it on this little notebook here and some formulas and what it is all about. Oh, while I'm doing that, I should be taking the upstop rail off while Mark is taking 20 more minutes. What's going on over here?
I'm just making sure they're here.
What? Oh,
Wait, so, and then check for going down, right?
well, it should have already been down.
What did it?
So if you did your down weight,
Mhm.
and it's down, right?
Yes.
So you just tap it till it comes up. Go heavier ground, push to the shelf, let go, push the heavier ground, etc., until, because you have to break some static friction is why. So if you just slide like this, little by little, till it pops up, about there, then go heavier ground, and just push down to the shelf, and release, then do another ground. Does that pass, right? And just do it till it fails. Be a little more gentle when you push it down. There you go, yeah. So that failed. So go back to your last one. And that should be it.
That should be the number.
Yeah, that should be the number because you already got the pass once, 20. Okay, so Mark's going to shout out his numbers. So what was your down weight on that piano, Mark?
51.
So Mark's down weight was 51. The down weight on the Steinway was 52. What was your up weight?
20.
20. So how much friction is on that system?
So it'd be
So more friction.
7. Friction's the minus, right?
Yeah, it's the down weight minus the up weight divided by 2.
15.5.
So the Steinway had 15.5 grams of friction on the system. The Yamaha had 15.5 grams of friction on the system. The Steinway had 13.5, okay? What's the balance weight?
The balance weight would be
That's down weight plus up weight divided by 2.
so 35.5.
35.5. So even though it had more friction on the system, overall it's a lower balance weight. And that kind of tells us how heavy the action parts are, really how heavy the hammer is that we're balancing with the key. So I'm guessing that hammer is lighter, okay? And the whole system, the whip in and the hammer, are lighter by about 3 grams. I think that's what it tells us, from my understanding. What?
Which one's lighter?
Well, it's not like a lighter, it's not like lighter work. We're not measuring like the amount of work to do the action. But you're talking about we were just talking about like the action parts that it's balancing is 35 or something on that one, 35.5. 35.5, and this is just on C1 so far.
Gotcha.
And the Steinway is 38.8. Okay, so the action parts are a little heavier right now on the Steinway. For that note, that's just one note though, right?
Gotcha.
Okay, so let's move on. Hand me the thing, or just do your next two, and then hand the next two to me. Oh, you haven't done C sharp?
Not yet.
Oh wow.
I got
Okay.
20 more
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I gotta be careful with Mark. He's awesome.
When you find the email,
Contact us.
is it just someone
Then just call him and tell him. Get me, but because I'm not sure who it is right now that's managing it. It used to be Bucky, then it was someone else.
and then
Why are we
we'll see
whispering?
this. I'm not seeing the order on here.
Maybe that's why it's sitting there.
Yeah.
Maybe I never made it.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a possibility because it was like shipping and you're waiting on a couple things. Okay, let's keep going. Mark's measuring C sharp 1. And we should probably get like, we don't have a little whiteboard, do we?
Big one.
Just so we can see the numbers compared. Yeah. I'm gonna, one of us will run to the whiteboard so we can start doing the comparison numbers over there. And so at the end, we can kind of scan the differences. That'll be nice. Right, Mark? So you just keep measuring as many as you can while I'm doing this.
That's concerning.
No, let's do it like this. Let's go. What were the Yamaha numbers on C1?
51 and 20.
Thanks. Glenn, do we have new whiteboard markers? Any new ones over there, do you think, still?
I've just been a while.
Oh, really? I thought I had a whole pack back here. Oh, whiteboard. Like over here on the stringing, you know?
Like these ones?
Yeah, those guys.
I don't know. Maybe this one. We should try it.
Okay. I thought I had a pack on this card. Okay, so Mark's getting more. All right, Mark.
It's cleaning up.
Okay. I'm gonna get a rag for this better, this chart better. you're done with that, Landon, if I could have you make a spreadsheet calculator real quick, so for our data, so we could run our balance weight and
Sure.
friction numbers.
Yeah.
So we're moving along. Let's see if anyone has any questions, comments. Nope. Oh, there's one. Okay. Avant pianist, do you work through the nights on your regulation? Saw you were live during the midnight working on the Yamaha. That's right when I finished. I don't usually. I do like to work through the night sometimes. Not as a continual habit. You know, but if I have a project, if I have a deadline, I'll put in a longer day and then just take it off in some other way, you know, hopefully after that. If I have something I'm excited on, I tend to work on it later. It just depends. So, but also a lot of what I'm doing, you know, live streaming, it takes a lot longer, showing people, educating, doing a little bit of research here. I'm not getting paid for that right directly, so I kind of got to squeeze it in where I can. You're what?
Hey, you were sending me one of the Sunday strings for the Steinway B. One of them ended up being too long, so I was wondering if I could order.
Oh, understood.
B as in
Yeah,
Dave.
how can you get further back? Oh.
Iron, which zip code is on your account for this?
84100. Oh,
I think it's gonna be,
84 on the account. 84107.
is it 84107? Hiram Legal,
Sorry, piano service.
Solid PM. Okay, it's not. You might also try
84004.
And also might be under Salt Lake Piano Service instead of Hiram. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's 298-091. It's the fourth one, so it's C1. Yeah. How long ago? It was like late April, probably like around 20th. Okay, and then one other question. We have another. We sent a set of strings to be replicated, and we never got it back, or I don't know if they ever made it. I was wondering if we'd be able to like track that or figure that out. It's a Kanabi. Oh, okay, that's good news. Yeah, 35591. Bro. Okay. Okay, thanks.
Okay, Mark's getting his numbers there. I'm going to take this upstop rail off the action. those Yamaha numbers. I'm kind of also getting set up. We'll start to flow a little smoother on all this. Hopefully we can get our numbers before lunch all down. Removing this, of course, won't affect the weight of the keys at all. It doesn't touch the keys. It's just for when the piano's turned on its side for shipping. The keys won't come up and off the front rail pins. They'll stay in position. That's what that rail's for. So I'm just going to move this out of our way. And get these nuts out of the way. These are, this is called that part's called the key upstop rail. You hang around with this long enough, you'll know how to name any piano part without even knowing its real name, because it's pretty big, right? It's pretty logical. It's an upstop, it's a rail, it's an upstop for the keys, it's the key upstop rail. About there. Go from the other side, yo. You're so focused. You're like in a certain part of your brain. You're like, what do I do? Is it copyright free? Just kidding. Let's see. Okay. So you don't your numbers? Yep. You can post them up there like I did. Just do the down weight, up weight, and we'll do a spreadsheet to calculate our balance weight and friction automatically, and then we'll put it up. Okay. So, okay, now I can do my numbers here. And We left off on C3, C sharp 3 for the Steinway here. Okay, there we go. We're going to back it up to 48. That's good. 47. Gonna go. 46 is not gonna go. So we're gonna call that 47. Down weight on C3. This pen was not the one I was using apparently. 40. 47. Let's go up weight here.
Okay, is that what's, is it 6111?
$47.25. And we'll go C sharp. Oh, you know what? I'm doing the wrong note. Wrong note. I'm supposed to do C3.
Okay, thanks so much for
C mark has the better approach. Right.
You're arriving in our mailbox 30 minutes ago.
What are the chances of that the day we finally get around to checking?
Okay.
So did we make the order and pay for it?
Yeah.
And you just overlooked it?
I didn't actually see the order on there.
Must
They
be
got
on
it.
there.
They have it.
Well, maybe it doesn't show online. Like if I didn't place it, maybe they just billed me.
They must have.
Yeah. And then it doesn't show on the order history. Okay, so this is so C3 is actually 40, 46 down weight. And let's go with the up weight here.
Should probably go make sure it's actually in the mailbox though, 'cause last time they said that was in like Puerto Rico.
Yeah. 46.24 on C3. Okay, 46 down weight, 24 up weight. We're gonna go C sharp 3. Okay, so this one is 47. C sharp 3 is 47 down weight. And yeah, they must have just received it and billed us.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to make a spreadsheet then, Mark?
Sure.
So it's 47.24, and then we're going to C5. Here we go. The spreadsheet? He's on it. Yeah, you're free. Thanks. Plus, you cost more. Sorry, Mark.
Okay.
Okay, 40. 47. I feel like a terrible person now. Sorry.
No, it's
Okay. 50, C5 is 47 down weight, and remember these are relative numbers, so don't take these numbers, you know, as exact. It's just a relative comparison because this scale may or may not be. If we were using calibrated weights, we could do it the other way, but we don't have those. Say 47.25. Okay, now we're gonna go C7, C sharp 7. I do have a roll of clear mylar. If there's any milky mylar, I mean, yeah, we have lots of stuff.
Okay.
You could trace it with the marker with the clear mylar.
That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, so it's just a roll somewhere over. I don't know where it goes. It's a big roll. Yeah. So. Okay, so this is going to be 50 or 46. So C7 is going to be 46 down weight, and I think these are Hamburg numbers. What they used to have is their specs for down weight is 47 all the way across, I think. That's interesting to me. Okay, 24. All right, we're going to go with 23. 23 up weight. No, I missed a note. C7 was 46, 24. C sharp 7 is okay, we're going to go 47. And let's see our up weight here. Oh, I have a thing in the way here. Let's get that cord out of the way. Okay, we've got 29, 47, 29. Then I missed one. I have to go back and get my C sharp 5, which is here. Okay, that one's 46 down weight, and up weight on that is 26, 46, 26. Okay, let's go put my numbers into our board here. Let's see if check the chat here. Okay, Avant Pianist, my customer would be so happy about this. Okay, Jesse Balboa, welcome. Thanks for joining. Jeffrey Boyle, Weeble, I prefer to rewatch the 48-hour Yamaha project video in real time. Yeah, I'm a binge watcher myself. I don't know about you guys, but and if I'm interested in something like I'm really into aquariums and fish, as a hobby, and I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch kind of everything there is about that for a while and just kind of binge it. That's kind of my downtime. Okay, so here's our comparison here so far. I'm just gonna put my numbers, transfer them over, and then we'll put them on the spreadsheet. So I've got for the Steinway, I've got 52, 27, I've got 46, 24, 47, 24, 47, 25, 46, 26. C7 is 46, 24, C sharp 7, 47, 29. Okay, so we can already kind of see a comparison here of the differences. S for Steinway, Y for the Yamaha, right? Okay, so they're really similar on C1, C sharp 1. Looks like the Yamaha just has more friction there. And then it really changes once we cross out of the bass into the tenor section. Then pretty much the Steinway numbers are all hovering around 47, 46, 47. And the Yamaha numbers looks like they're trying to hover around 50, 51. And then you have a couple outliers that are heavier, 56, 54. Okay. So it's interesting in consistency of weighting, but we're going to get all the numbers and that'll show us, because we want to, for real consistency, we want to see, the balance weight consistency and the friction. Because what happens is you can get friction differences, right? That will really affect things, these numbers. Okay. And also notice that the up weights, they're pretty similar. Pretty similar, except for that first one has a low up weight. But they're pretty similar, right? Trying to get around 24-ish, right? There's some that are higher. Up in the treble, it's much, much higher. And they're about the same up weight. Okay. Interesting. This is proving interesting to me. Okay, we'll continue on. Tell your friends. All right. I don't know of any other comparisons like this that are out there that you can have access to. Mark's making a spreadsheet to calculate the balance weight and the friction on there. And then I'm going to go ahead, let's see, we'll put a camera over here and get us going. I'm going to go, I want to take some measurements on the hammers and so forth, okay? So, first of all, trying to decide whether to go in millimeters or standard. I think we'll do millimeters. Okay. So I'm going to take the boring distance on a piano. Okay, there's a thing called the boring distance, all right? And it's dictated by how high the strings are off of the key bed. And the key bed is what the action sits on. So this table represents the key bed, string heights being invisible. When this shank comes straight across, that's where it should be hitting the string, okay? So the boring distance, or it should be close to that. The boring distance is the center of this center pin, okay, to the height of the the actual boring distance is the center of the shank here to the end of the hammer, okay? And the way we come up with the boring distance is we measure the string height in the piano from the key bed to the underside of the string, and we measure that distance and then we subtract this distance from the center of this center pin here, right there, to the key bed. And that will get us what our boring distance should be for the action to work out correctly with the, when it's regulated. But let's see what the boring distance on this Yamaha is, okay? So on this first note, or really it's just, we're just gonna get one in the bass and one in the treble, I think. So from the center of that shank to the top of the hammer is, wait for it, 55 millimeters, okay? 55 millimeters, I'm gonna write that down. Mark, do you have the Yamaha notebook?
Yeah.
Can I grab it from you? You don't need it, right?
I was using it just so I don't
Or you're not there? You need more, you still need it?
Yeah, I'll do those like.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. I'll start measuring on the Steinway then. Let's get the boring distance on the Steinway in millimeters. First, I'm going to take this marker back where we can find it. Okay, we'll do a treble distance here, and I'm going to get my little short block for the camera to sit in while I do this, okay? That should help things a little. Find that short block. Here he is. Okay. All right, boring distance of the Steinway treble hammer. I know what it should be in standard measurements. It should be 5 1/8 inch. And it probably is, but we're going to go in millimeters so that we can compare the two easier. And this one is 40. It is 47, maybe 47 millimeters, okay? So I'm going to make note of that. My Steinway book here. Oh, you got my Steinway. And I'm using my Steinway book. I switched so I could get, I switched so
Here,
I
you
didn't
can
real-
take both of
I
them.
didn't realize you had both of them. You're done with both of them?
Yeah. I
Okay.
need to add in one more thing. I
It's
forgot
over
to-
there.
No, I forgot to divide by 2.
Oh, you forgot to divide by 2. Oh, sorry. Okay.
No,
So-
I got it in the wrong one.
Okay, so
I got it now.
okay, so I'm going to log the boring distance on note number 88 on the Steinways. Boring distance. Okay, Steinway, Yamaha, number 88. And it was 40, what did I say, 47? I believe so. I'm just going to double check that, folks. It's hard when I was holding the camera. No, I said it was 40. It's actually 46. Okay. Yeah, I need to be a little more careful with this. 46 millimeters. And let's go get the, while we're in the Steinway, I'm just going to measure the other end of the, so there's 2 types of hammers on the Action. From here on out, they're treble hammers, we'd call them. And then for the bass section where the strings cross over and they're higher, those are the bass hammers. So I'm just going to get 4 boring distances for each. One on note number 88, one on the first tenor note, and then one on each end of the bass, okay? So let's get the other end of the treble, and we'll just compare. And basically, we'll just average the 2 ends to come up with an average boring distance for that type of hammer, okay? So this one is 46. It's the same, which I would expect. So I'm going to come with 2 numbers in the end. An average boring distance for the treble hammers and an average boring distance for the bass hammers, but I'm only going to average 2 samples of that. That should be enough. Okay, 50. 53. And let's see what this side is. 53. Okay, so we're gonna go 46 53 for the Steinway. Let's check the Yamaha. Come over here on the treble and measure that treble hammer boring distance. Okay. Wait, we're at the end of the book or the beginning, Mark? Where's the... Did you get a brand new book?
Where is it? Oh,
Uh-oh.
that's right here. Sorry, I don't label it.
So we're going to work backwards on this book.
Yeah.
Okay. Boring distance. Am I in your way? Oh, okay. Okay, again, the boring distance on this one, that's the center of the shank here to the tip of the hammer, is 47. And I'm just going to kind of check that. Mark, so I was telling him how you basically have two types of hammers, right? Treble hammers, and they're going to end up shorter because the string heights are lower. And then the cross-strung bass is going to be it's going to be a longer boring distance, okay? And the boring distance is between the center of the shank and the tip of the hammer. So for the Yamaha, this is 47 millimeters, so right there to the very tip, okay? So it's 47. So we're going to end up with two numbers is all. I'm just averaging the ends of the section, but they're identical, and so is the Steinway. So write down 47 for the Yamaha first number, which is going to be 10 hard. And then we have 51 for the bass there-ish.
So 51?
Just a minute. Let me average two and make sure. No, not 51. It's actually 55. Okay. 55. I was reading my ruler wrong. I tend to do that sometimes. Check this again. 56 and 55. We're going to call it 55.5.
Okay.
That's what we're going to call it. Makes
So that's
sense,
for
right?
the bass.
Yeah. That's the bass one, that's the tenor. And on my book, I just wrote the two numbers with the slash.
So you had 55
Just
and
do the shorter
56.
one, tenor. Yeah.
I'll be backwards on this one, but
Well, then just write this one backwards and put it on the whiteboard too. Make a little graph next to just a little chart comparing those two, would you?
yeah.
Okay. So we've got the boring distance on those.
Am I also... Right, so for the bass, were you wanting this number or just these two numbers?
Just that one. So it's going to be 47/55.5.
Okay, and this one you already did it. Wait, where's that? Oh, right there.
Yeah.
46.
Just like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna get out a tool. Actually, we're gonna go with the geometry. We're gonna start taking measurements for the geometry now. To do that, we need to disassemble the action. Okay. Alrighty then. Oh, did you get a chance to fill in these numbers over there?
Yep.
Sweet. Okay, I'm just gonna cut that down. We're gonna start. Okay, so let me show you this. I'm gonna bring the camera and show you what we're doing here, okay? So we're gonna put a lot of measurements now into the calculator here, one piano at a time. And one of the first things we're going to do, now the piano, it's basically made of three main levers, right? The key is a lever, which has an advantage when you push the key, right? The whipping is a lever, which doesn't have so much advantage. The fulcrum's right there, and then the lift point's out. So it's out from the fulcrum at least, but it's not all the way out in the end. So it's a little bit disadvantaged. And then the hammer shank is a lever, and it's extremely disadvantaged, right? Because here's the fulcrum, and the lift point's right next to the fulcrum, basically. So we have a big advantage with this lever, a small disadvantage with the whipping, and a big disadvantage with the hammer shank. You can picture the action geometry like a crowbar. There's a crowbar, and Landon can get it. I want to get for an illustration of this, if I ever do a short film video of this, for just to post a regular video on YouTube, I want to get a really long crowbar to demonstrate this, okay? When I learned this, my mind was kind of blown, right? Okay, so here's a crowbar, right? Let's say this were the fulcrum right here, okay? Here, do you want to film? That would be much better, Mark. Okay, so let's say this were the fulcrum on our lever here. This is just a handle, and then here's this, right? Okay. This is this lever has an incredible advantage, right? But guess what? On the piano, which end are we playing? This end. Okay. That's the way the piano lever works. Okay. You're like, wait a minute. So the piano action makes it harder to lift the weight? Yes, it does. Okay. The hammer, how much does it weigh? I'm gonna pull out a scale real quick. You can kind of follow me around, Mark, and we'll grab the scale. I think we're all gonna learn a lot about action geometry and function today, all of us. Okay, myself included. Let's see if we can clear some space here. We need a scale surface. I'm going to move the computer to here. And the mouse, that'll be good. Okay. I have a really high sensitivity scale here. This is mostly for illustration that we're doing this, but that's okay. Okay, and that has to warm up for a second once I plug it in to be really accurate, but all right, we're gonna turn that on, and we're gonna let that warm up while I'm grabbing a special calibration weight for it, but I think we're fine there. There's where the key leads are. I knew it. I was looking for a key lead for like 20 minutes the other night. Couldn't find it. Okay. Let me grab our touch weight kit. In here we have some tools that'll help us measure the different components to the piano for fun. For science. You have to do this like so. I don't like that. Let's push this action over. We'll put all our tools on the left. Give us maximum space on the right. Okay. Use it a little more because that clamp is out there. Okay. This is a calibrating weight. We should have 500 grams. We'll let that warm up. See if we get to 500. It's supposed to be 500, which it's really close enough, right? But They say that the instructions of the scale are to let that warm up for a minute. But anyway, let's open up our other parts block. We want this. I've actually never used this kit before for much.
I don't know if you answered this already, but somebody's asked why does the boring distance matter here.
Well, the reason why I took the boring distance was I wanted to maybe later on switch a hammer out a little bit, put a Steinway flange or put it on the Yamaha flange and see what it sounded like. That was a possibility. And I wanted to see how the boring, just see if the regulation would work out to be able to just do a switch out like that. And that was more for like exploring the tonal things. Okay, so that's why it matters in this case. And also just general education there. So, okay, so we want, take that off. We may not use, obviously everything in here. That's for something else. This is kind of like an unboxing video, I guess, because I've never gotten into these. So that's what we're doing here, if you're wondering. Why is it taking so long? I just want to see how to set up thing properly here for what we're doing, which is just to show some of the different weights, okay? So we're gonna put some feet on our bench. It looks like we're gonna level this weight table, okay? All right then. And some washers and nuts. So this is a kit that can be purchased from probably a few places. I don't know, maybe only the supply house. I think I purchased it from a supply house that's out of business now, Piano Tech Supply. So we're gonna put okay, pretty self-explanatory. Okay, we're going to I'm gonna set this up like he says, like right, folded, just for fun, so we get the real experience. Okay. All right. So we've got, we're supposed to put the, this goes actually this way. You'd think with a rubber foot, the rounded part would go on the bottom, huh? But it doesn't. Okay. Not sure why. Oh, because this captures the nut on the bottom, that's why. No. No. That don't make sense to me. Okay, thread the screws in, assemble the components in the order shown. This is Mark, you can show us if you want. Maybe someone out there smarter than me. We're gonna do a nut. Okay, we thread it through the table. We thread a nut on, right? Then we put a washer in. And I'm pretty sure this drawing's not, it's not like the same shape. I'm pretty sure this is meant to go on top because the capture nut's down here. That's what I think. So I'm gonna do it that way. So I'm just looking at these beveled edges with a radius on them, and it looks like the top of it has a larger radius. And I was looking at what came in the kit here, and only one of these has a radius is the bottom, so I was confused which way, but we're gonna do it this way. And if anybody has a problem with that. Okay, so we're threading it through. Washer, rubber foot, and there's a nut captured in that rubber foot that holds there. So I think the idea is this nut will cinch down on our foot and just hold it in place so that we can level it really easily with this thumb screw up top, right? That was right, Mark? Mm-hmm. Looks right to me. Okay, so I'm just going to tighten this nut on here. Okay. Actually, yeah, what's going on here? Let's see. What is happening? Oh, I wasn't even into the nut yet. That's why. I need to go deeper. It wasn't grabbing this capture nut that's inside of there. So we're going to put our flat side of the washer on the rubber. In here, there. Now we're going to capture that. And we don't need to go so deep. We just need to get into that nut so that the rubber doesn't scratch the table on the bottom. That's the way it's designed. Okay. We're figuring things out. Now we'll tighten this. Okay. Next one. Okay, Mark, you do the next one. I'll hold the camera. Okay, let's see if there's any. Well, you've been checking chat.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing going on with the chat. Let's see, loft time. Oh yeah, I went up in the loft. Kind of scary. Avant pianist, did I answer your question? The boring distance doesn't matter here, other than if I wanted to switch out a hammer for a little voicing experiment. But I should say that the boring distance does matter because it changes the way that lever operates. Like I've had it explained to me before that when the boring distance is tighter to the felt, when it's shorter, that can have an advantage in the way the action works. So it might come into play. So while he's doing that, I'm going to take the stack off the Steinway here because we want to get in and take things apart. So we're going to need to get in here. This is just kind of mad scientist mode, and I rarely get an opportunity. You know, most of the time it's just work, right? Cash flow, keep the business running.
Where did the other black one
The
go?
foot, there's one right here.
There we go.
What is See, my magnet tool is in here somewhere. There it is. Anyway, so, you know, to take time out to actually examine things, the stage of life I'm in, it's a little harder. But I'd rather get it done sooner, get more information, and be able to do better work before my working days are over. And I want to live stream it and things like that and put content out on YouTube just to share it, because I feel like it'll up the quality and expectation of quality in the industry, in this field. Just get things out in the open. I think a lot of people take a whole list of proprietary things that have never really been a monetary advantage to them by keeping them proprietary. They take them to their grave. No, I don't want to do that. And I've also had the thought that when I'm gone, my kids, grandkids, if the world doesn't blow up before then, they might enjoy seeing what I was doing when I'm actually gone, since they don't enjoy it now while I'm here. Isn't that the truth?
That's a good one.
Yeah. So YouTube's pretty cool, I think. You know, you can get a record of a lot of things. Put things out in front of people. All right, so now we have these apart. That'll be easier for measurements. I'm gonna do the same for the Yamaha now. Let's see if we have any fun comments going on. Mark's putting that table together. No comments, that's okay. Everyone's got jobs to do, I imagine, today. Everyone's busy with something. So what'd you think about that crowbar? I think this was first introduced to me by a fellow named Mario Ygrick, I think, who was on a piano technician's masterclass type of subscription thing that I did. And I think that's where I heard this analogy first, and it just blew my mind. I thought, oh. So. You've got these. Oh, you got it?
Yeah, so now I need to level it, right?
Yeah, so we got this little bubble level, but let's keep going with the tower assembly. Okay,
Oh.
so he's got the feet on here. So now we got to put this tower on through this one of these holes. Let's do it on the right side. No, let's do it on the left. Yeah, I like that because we're right-handed. So we're gonna put this tower on. It says, what do we got? Choose a left or right. Okay, yeah, we already did that. So you've got a cap, you've got the tower, you've got the jig part with the, and this black thing goes on the bottom. I think you have it backwards. No?
No, doesn't it go like this?
I guess so. I guess it does. Yep, you're right. Okay. Glad Mark's here. Okay, position the tower over the hole and then screw it in with that bolt. Piece of cake. Okay, I'm excited. And then we're going to level it with this little bubble level that he gives us with the kit. I don't remember the cost of this kit. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to see if it's still available. I'll give you the hookups.
Can I borrow your screwdriver?
Yeah, which kind?
Flathead.
Okay, meanwhile, I'm going to look up if we can, if a person can get this this table anymore, you know, or this kit, this Steinway kit. one of the main piano parts suppliers in the industry right now is Shaft Piano Supply. They've been around for a long time. There was another Piano Tech, and Shaft bought Piano Tech from is what I understand.
Maybe.
Oh, you're just trying to level it before
Yeah,
putting it together? Wait, what about tightening this down?
I'm gonna let these ones up so they're, because I think this is gonna run out of room. Like this will come off, it'll run out of length before it even touches.
Well, then just lower the other ones.
Yeah, that's what.
Wait, but this nut should be fastened down against the foot to hold it.
Yeah, I'm getting these ones done first.
Wait, what? So this nut just holds the foot in place.
Yeah.
So you should tighten it, and then we'll adjust whatever.
Okay.
However,
Oh, I see.
it's just to clamp the foot in
Yeah,
place.
I understand.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? Okay.
No, I wasn't thinking that.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, let's look up Stanwood. See if the kit comes up. All right, let's look up touch weight. Touch weight. Nothing for touch weighting. Let's try touch weight. Search. Okay, touch weight is 2 words. Search. There, we got something. Touch design kit. That's the one. So, so technicians can buy it, or customers of Shaft Piano can buy it wholesale. So you're probably going to spend anywhere from $300 to $500 for this kit, depending on your source. But it is still available. So if anyone's interested, I am not affiliated with Steinway Touch Design Kits or Shaft Piano, so I don't get any piece of it if you buy it. So that's why I tighten those on the foot, so that then you just, all you have to do is just turn the top, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Do it with the wrench. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just gonna see how low we are in there. So that should just snug like that on each one of those. Is it not in the threads? Oh, see how much higher it is?
Yeah.
You did what I did. It's in the rubber, but it's not in the
Oh,
in the
I
rubber.
see.
Yeah, that's what I did too. So. Yeah, so we can get the kit elsewhere. That was a mistake. All right. Guess what, Mark? It's not level. Okay. While Mark's doing that, I'm going to go back to taking apart this the Yamaha stack so we can get into those parts. Remember, you remove the angled screws first on the action of the Yamahas. You'll see these angled screws on other brands. Let's see, some that come to mind: Young Chain, Samick, and some others maybe. Let me get a magnet tray for this Yamaha.
think I got it.
Okay. The next step. Oh, you got it level.
Mhm.
You want to show how you leveled it, or they saw it? No, they didn't see it.
That's it.
Okay. Well, trust us. It's level. Okay. Next steps. Let's see here. Oh, sorry. Do you want to film, Mark? Okay. Next steps. So we got the thing level. What do we got now? Okay. And then it tells us how to do our different measurements. Perfect. That's the point where we need to be at for fun. Obviously, we can't be weighing hammers out before they're attached because these are already attached. So we'll just be doing a strike weight, and we will be assuming what the shank weight is, which is, it's a pretty standard thing, or close enough. So, all right. So let's just stick that there. Then let's finish taking these off. Now, I want to get this scale. I do want to get this scale calibrated, Note on grams. Let's see after it's warmed up if it's any different. Okay. That's close.
It's coming back.
There it goes. That's close enough. Right, if you breathe on it, there, 500. All right, that's close enough. At least we know, our margin of error. All right, let's pull these out. Let's put that anywhere, pal. Len, you ever seen Groundhog Day?
No.
That's a line from Groundhog Day. So I had hoped to get all our measurements before lunch, but guess what? I am hungry. Mark's hungry. He's famished, right, Mark?
I guess so.
Yeah, he's hungry. It's already past noon here. We'll do lunch. We're all set up to really tear into it. Oh, did I say dive into it, jump into it? No. To really get going on this. So we're going to stop the stream. We'll be back in about an hour. And it's been fun. For those of you who hang out, the real action is going to happen, So we'll see you later.